The internet is a wonderful, vast, bottomless pit of stupid content. For stupid commentary channels like mine, it's easy to just find stuff and react to it, and sometimes play with it. Bad videos, bad TikToks, bad video games, bad fireworks. It's pretty easy for internet degenerates like me to just find something, pick it up, and laugh at it. However, there is one untouched goldmine that commentary channels just generally ignore. And that is the vast, often dangerous, and life-threatening world of cooking content on YouTube and TikTok. Why it's been left mostly untouched, I think I can gather a pretty good reason why. Content creators, like pretty much everyone, would much rather just dial a number and order a pizza and just eat that. Cooking takes patience, lots of failed tries, and a bit of salt, pepper, and a bit of paprika, and a bit of this, and a bit of that, and a bit of these other old stupid ingredients that you have to cook for a certain amount of time before you add another thing in and cook for another amount of time again on this specific heat. Why bother cooking something mediocre when you can just go to McDonald's? It's way easier to download big rigs over the road racing than, cooking something. Especially when you don't even know how to make spaghetti. However, if you know enough about cooking where you add a pinch of salt and Tabasco sauce to everything like me, then you'll easily find hours of entertainment from the videos of blowtorching and pouring baking soda on steaks to, whatever the fuck TikTok's doing. And it's quite likely you would have come across a channel by the name of Cooking with Jack. Jack was one of the first YouTube chefs. He was here since the beginning, and that's probably the reason why he has so many subscribers in the first place. Well, one of the reasons. YouTube was a new market, it was a burgeoning market, and he just got lucky at the right time. And that's how he got away with cutting an onion completely the wrong way and got like 6.7 million views off of it. That, amongst other dangerous, horrible, food-related crimes, sometimes often deadly. But for this video, I'm not going to show you the time where Jack honestly thinks you could just cook chicken in the bloody microwave and have it be edible or not, disgusting and dangerous to eat. I'm going to be making a snarky video on one of his own recipes, or at least someone in his family made up. And this recipe that he's so proud of has been given the honorary title of the most disgusting recipe on the internet. And Jack's really proud of this one. He not only filmed a video on it, but he also put up the bloody recipe on Pinterest. And since the recipe's on YouTube and Pinterest, this means with just a simple trip to the grocery store, I can recreate and cook the bloody thing myself. The ingredients are all right there, I'm just going to try it. I don't need to order anything and have it wait for 3 bloody months to ship to Australia. I'm just going to try it. I haven't actually eaten it as of the recording of this video. I'm going to wait till like a few days later, late at night. And I'm nervous. Because as disgusting as I know this recipe is, you can't really shit on something unless you haven't actually tried it.
Do you know what time it is? It's time for Aunt Myrna's recipes.
So yeah, judging by the intro, in case you couldn't tell already, the video is pretty old. It was released on January 28th, 2012, in my time zone, probably 27th in his. Jack says on his website that before YouTube, he was a nightclub DJ, some kind of DJ for his local radio station, and I'm pretty sure he made the intro himself, so that explains the whole Windows Movie Maker, early 2000s MTV-ness of that. So yeah, not quite with the early 2010s times, but the guy was a nightclub DJ, so nah. So enough about the intro of him getting a close-up of him shoving his fat face full of food in. Let's see what homegrown Alabama dish he's got ready for us. Now, when the video starts, just take a look on his counter and have a look at all the ingredients. All those things are going straight into a pan. Like, all of it. I'm warning you now.
It's a double header, that's right. Last week we did Aunt Myrna's recipe with the coleslaw. Amazing. This week we're doing party cheese salad. When I saw her make this in Alabama, I was like, gosh, I'm not sure about some of these ingredients, but then I tasted it and it's like a dessert.
Yeah, I'm definitely pausing the video here. Let's just take a real close look at all the ingredients. The first thing I see, the biggest ingredient, is the gigantic can of pineapple. It's a sort of crushed pineapple in a can that's sitting in its own juice, and I'm guessing some sort of preservatives or some kind of thickening agent has been added to the pineapple juice that the pineapple's surrounded by, probably to keep the pineapple reasonably fresh and to prevent it from, like, you know, sticking together, and probably to give it a little bit of extra sugar to make it taste a little bit sweeter for our sensitive Western tastes. So it's not exactly a pure pineapple, but it is a party cheese pineapple, whatever that means, which I guess means it's got icing all over it. Yeah, foreshadowing. There are some vegetables here to go into the salad, the party cheese salad. So yeah, there's some celery and some more canned shit in red over there. I think that green little plastic bag contains nuts. Again, much like the pineapple and the pimentos, which is the little red things in that glass little red container over there. It's pre-crushed and cut up at the factory with some kind of agent in it to prevent it from, you know, clumping together for moisture, you know, stuff like that. Again, it's really easy to just buy whole nuts and just, you know, cut them up yourself without any of the extra gunk that comes in pre-packaged in the factory. But, you know, hey, it's a party cheese salad. But this just looks like a regular shitty little salad. Where's the party bit? See that little tiny little cardboard plasticky box over there? That is Jell-O. You know, the stuff you use to make jelly with. That's in the same recipe as celery, you know, crushed pimentos, crushed nuts, pineapple. We are indeed adding jelly to all of this. Jelly and all the other horrifying shit I haven't mentioned yet. Yes, that is a gigantic tub of Cool Whip that's just sitting on the counter, and that's going to be added to the party cheese salad.
Do you know what
We don't
time
get
it
Cool
is?
Whip here in Australia, so I had to go look it up, and it's supposed to be a fake kind of whipped cream. It's non-dairy, it's made of all kinds of sugars and gums and stuff, but it's supposed to be like a non-dairy version of cream. I'm not exactly sure why a proud, meat-loving American like Jack would do with something non-dairy, but I'm guessing it's just, you know, sugar cream and it's cheap, so I'm guessing why Jack loves the stuff. Oh boy, it's already disgusting. But there's two more things. The next thing I see is just a block of cream cheese. That's cheese that's been sugared up, gummed up, caking agented up, which is basically what Cool Whip is. You know, stuff that's also been done to the pineapple in the can, the pimentos in the can, the nuts, the everything, just ugh. And I'm guessing that's what's happened to the very last ingredient, pre-shredded store-bought cheese. Of course, a pre-shredded store-bought cheese already has some kind of gum or caking agent or some kind of preservative added into it to stop the cheese from clumping together. So you get the individual bits of cheese all ready for you. What are you even supposed to make of all of this? I mean, obviously we're making a party cheese salad, but still, like, huh? Like, stuffing all of this into Jell-O, bell peppers, celery, even a gigantic fucking tub of Cool Whip. For anyone with even a modicum of cooking skill, just try and imagine what you can make with all this, as long as you use 10% of every ingredient at the very least. I can't think of anything. If you're trying to make a salad, you have to ditch the Jell-O. The jiggly texture of the Jell-O and the crunchy sort of textures of the vegetables, it's just not going to work. You'd have to ditch the Cool Whip too. You can't just dunk celery into some kind of nondescript milk product that has no flavouring whatsoever. If you're trying to make sour cream, I don't know how you're going to do that with the Cool Whip and all those artificial ingredients. So how does Jack actually make this party cheese salad? Let's get started on that.
Take your crushed pineapples and pour it in the pan. Alright, get your Jell-O mix. You're going to do one large Jell-O, lemon or lime, or you're going to do 2 small packets. I grabbed a large one. There you go. I'm not even sure what utensil to use for this. So, just going to mix it up right now. There we go. I'm afraid later on, if I use a wooden spoon, it's going to stick to the wooden spoon. Alright, so we're going to get this all mixed up. Okay, once the jello is dissolved, you're going to add, I chopped up the cream cheese. You're going to add all your cream cheese in there.
You saw the list of ingredients earlier, right? So you knew the cream cheese was coming, but I bet you didn't know it was going to come this soon. And I bet you did not want Jack to use the entire fucking block of cream cheese and just dump it into the pot. So cream cheese usually gets added to cake mixture to make it a bit thicker and less dry. It can also be mixed with eggs to make thicker, sweeter omelettes. Notice how both those things I mentioned were batter related and either stuffed into an oven or seared on a pan. Never once did I mention A, mixing of jello, or 2, putting it in a boiling pot. Boiling cream cheese and mixing it with water is probably just going to make it curdle if anything, and make it softer and more mellow and gooier probably. And adding all that to jelly for no reason? Good lord. Way to make your lemon jelly taste faintly of gooey cheese.
And you're going to mix that until it totally mixes in, totally melts down. Cream cheese is pretty much melted down. You can still see the chunks of pineapple in there. I think we're about ready to add the rest of the ingredients. We're going to add the chopped celery, bell peppers, pimento, the nuts. We're going to mix that in.
That looks lovely, right? I'm guessing this is the salad part of the party cheese salad. Just imagine all the crunchy, savoury, slightly watery textures of all those vegetables, and then crunching some more to find some random pecans in there. Jello's supposed to be like sweet and artificial as hell. Stop stuffing random bullshit in there. Jello's already got its own unique texture. Adding random shit in is gonna bring in even more weird textures that should not be in Jello. Again, leave Jello alone. But that's not all, because the real main ingredient is coming. If you remember what ingredients Jack listed in this party cheese clusterfuck, you know what's coming, or do you?
I can't even begin to explain to you how amazing tasting this was. It looks horrible, but I'm telling you, Aunt Myrna never has failed me yet, and I have had this. So I hope mine turns out as good as hers, as good as hers. I'll be in business. Okay, I've turned the flame off. I'm just mixing it in now. So go ahead and turn your flame off. There we go. Get it all mixed in. Alright, here's a crucial ingredient. Your whipped cream. Let's get that out there.
Yep, the whole thing. Straight in the boiling pan full of celery, jello, already has fucking cream cheese in it. How do you like that? Do you see why this is such a meme recipe now? So 3 years prior, Jack had already made a salad and he must have gone viral for it. He must have been clowned mercilessly in the comments for his first salad uploaded way before this video. Because for his bean salad, in quotation marks, it's literally just pork and beans, from the can bought in a store. But Jack the Oaf famously adds 2 gigantic spoonfuls of mayonnaise to the pork and beans straight from the can, dumps it in, and mixes it together. And later on in the video, when he does make an actual sort of salad, he does it again, and adds 1 more giant spoonful of mayonnaise to the fucking thing. Aunt Myrna has taught him very well. Are we beginning to see why Jack has such a fucked up relationship with salad? He can't contain himself from unhealthing every salad he's ever made by putting either giant spoonfuls of mayonnaise or an entire fucking tub of Cool Whip into it. The end product is that this is all supposed to become a jelly at the end. All of it. The bell peppers, the celery, the pecans, the whipped cream, the fucking gigantic tub of Cool Whip. All of it is going to be smushed together inside jelly. That's the end goal for this stupid recipe. You'd think the Cool Whip by itself would just kill off any kind of flavour that was previously in the pan. Lemon, lime, grape, cola, whatever jelly. How much of the original jelly flavour is going to survive? Oh, not to mention that Jack added a block of fucking cream cheese into it as well. That's more dairy on top of a whole tub of another dairy. all stuffed inside and mixed in with jelly. So after mixing everything and pouring it into the glass tray to stick into the fridge for 4 hours, there's just one more step. I bet you can't wait to see what other ingredient Jack is including in this.
I don't recommend using imitation or fat-free or sugar-free because they have a different reaction. You want the regular, real Cool Whip or real whipped cream. You don't have Cool Whip, just use real whipped cream. Creamiest you can find, thickest you can find. Now I'm going to move this off to the side. I get my glass dish here, and you're going to pour it in the dish carefully. And crazy enough, the last step, you're going to sprinkle on some cheese on top. Use American cheese. I wouldn't use a cheddar or a sharp because it's not going to have the same flavor effect. We've only been chilling this for about 4 hours, but as you can tell, it's completely solid and cold, and it looks beautiful. Look at that.
It's a miracle. The jelly actually solidified. Despite being assaulted by an entire block of cream cheese and an entire gigantic tub of Cool Whip, the proteins of the jelly actually clumped together to form something solid, somehow. It does look a bit more pale with a slight greenish tint than it's supposed to, but hey, after 4 hours in the fridge, the jello came out pretty solid. As for the shredded cheese on top, well, if the entire thing didn't look like vomit before, it certainly looks a bit more like a richer kind of vomit with shredded cheese on there. So the whole thing looks pretty sickly and awful, but Jack usually does take at least one bite out of the recipes that he cooks. Yes, even the ones with chicken. So hey, let's hear his closing thoughts and see for ourselves what he thinks of it after taking a bite.
That look great. Look how awesome that looks. We're going to give that a try. Look at how beautiful that looks. Wow, so good. I know it. Of course, I don't know if mine came out as good, so here's to delicious tasting.
He hates it. That is not a happy man. With the most deadpan expression full of pain. If you try to cook jello, stuff full of random vegetables, put an entire block of cream cheese in it, and dump an entire tub full of Cool Whip into it, of course it's going to taste fucking horrible. I know how much you love your dear sweet old Aunt Myrna, but did you ever misbehave when you went to her house when you were a kid? Did she ever once catch you setting fire to ants to it with magnifying glass on one hot Alabama summer day? Maybe you stayed up way past your bedtime once to watch some titties on HBO. Jack, there's a reason why this became such a meme recipe in the first place. Not only did you dump an entire fucking tub of Cool Whip into a pot, that was way too small by the way, it just looks unappetizing, ingredient by putting shredded cheese all over the bloody thing. This is a hate crime in a pot. You know, there's a certain food that this reminds me of. It reminds me of a food called a Nutriloaf. Looks just as appetizing as your party cheese salad, right? It's just basically combining all kinds of random fruits, vegetables, meats, or some kind of grains and lumping it all together into one loaf. It's supposed to combine all your essential nutrients into just one loaf. And this food is served exclusively and only in prisons. And it's only made for one purpose, to punish misbehaving inmates. There's a reason it's earned the moniker of the dysentery loaf. And because the taste of it is so bad, and its nutritional content probably quite poor, 2/3 of its entire Wikipedia page are dedicated to how controversial this is. The entire state of New York banned it completely 10 years ago. I mean, comparing them side by side, are you sure your party cheese salad wasn't some kind of dysentery food? For when you didn't close your eyes and pray during the Sunday Mass? Aunt Myrna must have been cackling with glee as she dumps the entire tub of Cool Whip into her jello mixture, served just for her special little nephew, you. Okay, so this food may not have been punishment for little Jack, but this, as I've found to my horror, was an actual recipe. I typed in Jello Cookbook Vintage on Google Images and I found this recipe from 1962. Yes, that is an entire can of tuna, olives, and those pimentos, remember those, stuffed inside lime jello. So that's where the stupid pimentos come from. You want to know how perfect jello is for salad? Well, check out this perfection salad from the Great American Cookbook. And it's not just Aunt Myrna that's revived the old ways of Jell-O cooking. Check out this cool shit from food.com. The appetizingly named tomato shrimp aspic salad, a full 3 stars out of 5 with 2 reviews. So cramming random shit into Jell-O was at one stage a classic American staple for the kitchen. But why? Like, ignore the taste, just imagine the textures, just something crunchy that's stuffed inside something jiggly. It must feel awful in the mouth. I actually have a theory on this, and it involves cramming 2 different timelines together. The first timeline is the Great Depression. You know, that one time right after the Roaring 20s, when America, the newest nation on Earth, was also the best nation on Earth. Where times of prosperity and absolute trust in the free market, despite all your dodgy investments, came to a crashing halt as everybody lost pretty much all of their money. Nobody was hiring, because not only did your investments go bad, but the companies did. Unemployment across America, at least 30% at the lowest. Wages, shit. Dust storms that permeated the entire American prairies for the entirety of the Great Depression, also shit. And the one state in the entire Americas that was hit hardest by the Great Depression, good old Alabama, where Aunt Myrna is from. Okay, so judging by famousbirthdays.com, which often gets all their facts wrong, I'm just going to trust them for now and assume that Jack was born in 1967. Aunt Myrna? Well, she looks pretty old in 2012, so I'm just going to assume she was born around 20 years before Jack, maybe 30. That will mean that she was born during the Great Depression or just after, which must mean her parents had to have survived through it. This means that Aunt Myrna must know a little bit of something about food shortages, because either she lived through it or her parents instilled it into her. Food was damn near impossible to come by during then. In the Midwest, and I assume also in Alabama, families frequently had to eat roadkill if they could eat anything at all. Now, of course, during the late Great Depression and earlier into the 40s, towards the mid-40s, we of course all went to World War II. And when we came back, we were victorious. The world of freedom and justice had just defeated the axis of evil. The silly little men with skulls on their caps and toothbrushes for moustaches. The world-conquering freedom lovers were ready to enter a new golden age of technology. Our new televisions can show more than one colour now. In fact, they can show all the colours. We just invented something you can store all the information in the world onto a little box called the computer, all 32 megabytes of it. And with these new space-age devices, we were going to go to space with them. We're going to the moon, baby. And in 1969, we did it. We put not 1, but 3 people on the moon. And we got them back safe and sound. This new amazing American-bred invention called science sure sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, with the invention of Jell-O, you too can make science in your kitchen. Watch this powder become a solid. Wow, chemistry. So why am I talking about widespread droughts and the space race in this party cheese salad video? Well, pretty much everyone who made these stupid Jell-O recipes either had to have grown up in or had their parents grow up during the Great Depression. So when you combine Great Depression era food rationing, eating roadkill, eating anything at all, habits that are really hard to kill. So combining that with the new mega science of turning a powder into a solid, you get stuffing random bullshit into Jell-O. That is how I think this came to be. So now that we're all done laughing at this meme abomination, there is something else I can do with this. Because in the famous words that Roadblock from G.I. Joe told us in a very important public service announcement for all the kids on Saturday morning, knowing is only half the battle. So now that we know all the horrors of 1950s space-age cookbooks, how can we possibly know how bad dumping an entire tub of Cool Whip into jelly is unless we try it for ourselves? And that is exactly what I did. After all, we've all after these weird, ugly mansions in California that idiots are trying to sell for $530 million a pop. But how bad do you think they truly are unless you have like a bazillion gajillion dollars just laying around to drop on one of these just to see what it's like? The party cheese salad is a meme you can buy right at the store. And that's exactly what I did. Last weekend, I went to the store and bought $50 worth of all the ingredients, made it myself late one night, and ate the bloody thing. And the video of me cooking and eating this thing is going to get released tomorrow. If you made it this far, congrats. And your reward? Seeing me eat this stupid thing. Recipe 1-to-1, as close as I can get it, including the pot that is way too small to cook the stupid thing in. I'll see you on Saturday, and as always, thanks for watching.